Today we are reading A Color of His Own by Leo Lionni. And I chose this book because I've always been a big fan of Leo Lioni's stories, but also his artwork, because he's the illustrator of this book as well as the author. The way that he uses paint and line and color to create beautiful creations. A Color of His Own. And there's the title page with the title, A Color of His Own. But what do you see here? Looks like a group of some kind of lizard. I wonder why they're all different colors. Maybe the story will tell us. Parrots are green. Goldfish are red. Elephants are gray. Pigs are pink. All animals have a color of their own. Except for chameleons. What's a chameleon? I wonder if these pictures can help us figure it out. They look like those lizards that we saw on the front cover and the title page. I wonder if those lizards are chameleons. Chameleons change color wherever they go. So that must be what a chameleon is. A chameleon is a kind of lizard that changes its color. I wonder why they do that. Oh, what do you see there? Looks like that chameleon is on a lemon. Oh, and the words tell us, on lemons, they are yellow. In the heather, they are purple. I wonder what the heather is. I see this purple chameleon. Then I also see some things here that look kind of like purple flowers growing up. Heather must be those purple flowers. And on the tiger, they are striped, like tigers. Look at all those tiger stripes. One day, a chameleon who was sitting on a tiger's tail said to himself, "If I remain on a leaf, I shall be green forever, and so I too will have a color of my own." That chameleon wants to be its own color. I wonder why. Maybe he doesn't like changing colors. And he had a plan. He was going to get on that leaf so that he could be green forever. Will it work? Let's think about what we know about leaves. Do they always stay green? I wonder if his plan to stay green forever will work. Oh, what do we see happening on this page? Looks like he's not staying green. Looks like the color is changing. With this thought, he cheerfully climbed onto the greenest leaf. But in autumn, the leaf turned yellow, And so did the chameleon. I wonder how he's going to feel about that, since he turned yellow. And his plan was to stay green. Well, now what's happening? Let's read the words and find out. Later, the leaf turned red, and the chameleon, too, turned red. Look at that chameleon's face. What did the illustrator show us about how the chameleon's feeling? Looks pretty upset to me. And then the winter winds blew the leaf from the branch, and with it, the chameleon. Now what's happening? The chameleon was black in the long winter night. Looks like the world got dark and the chameleon got dark to match it. But when spring came, he walked out into the green grass, and there he met another chameleon. I wonder if this chameleon feels the same as the chameleon from earlier in our story. If this chameleon also wants to stay one color. He told his sad story. "Won't we ever have a color of our own?" he asked. What do you think that other chameleon's going to say? "I'm afraid not," said the other chameleon, who was older and wiser. "But," he added, "why don't we stay together? We will still change color wherever we go, but you and I will always be alike." So that chameleon had a different plan. It says we can't stay just one color, but if we stay together, we'll always be like each other. I wonder how this chameleon will feel about that plan. And so they remained side by side. They were green together, and purple, and yellow. And I'm looking at their faces on these pages. I wonder how they're feeling together and the same color. Their purple faces and their yellow faces. And red with white polka dots. Look at those chameleon faces on that mushroom. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Reading this story together makes me wonder why that chameleon wanted to have a color of his very own. Have you ever felt like that, where you wanted something just to yourself? I wonder why sometimes we feel that way. I wonder what we can do to help our hearts when we don't always get exactly what we want. I know what I do is I take a deep breath and I try to find happiness in the things that I do have. Thank you for joining me for Leo Lioni's A Color of His Own.